Zesty kale chips are an amazing alternative to reaching for that bag of potato or corn chips, and today I'm going to show you how to make an Italian zesty kale chip with 3 different flavors. Now we're going to start by making our zesty Italian base, and what I've got here is a little bit of olive oil. I'm going to be adding in some garlic powder. I've got an Italian seasoning that has some oregano and sage and fennel, and a little bit of sea salt, and that's going to be our zesty base. So I'm just going to go ahead and give this a quick whisk here. And now I've got my kale here, and I'm using curly kale today. You can use this kind of kale, you can use Lacinto Dino kale, whatever kale you'd like. You just want to make sure you de-stem it and you just have the leaves left. So what I'm going to do is pour a little bit of my olive oil mixture here on the top, and I just want to make sure that my kale is being really coated with this oil mixture. Now you can use your hands, you kind of want to massage it in, and that's going to help break down the hardness of the kale, make it a little easier to digest, and also make sure you get that Italian and oil flavor all over all the kale and fully coated. So we'll just give this a quick mix here, and that's it. What we're gonna do is go ahead and start to lay out our kale mixtures, or kale leaves, here on my prepared baking sheets. Now, you don't wanna overlap them too much because you do want them to get crispy, but we are gonna put them in the oven and flip them over about halfway through. Now, as they cook, they will shrink significantly. So it's okay if they overlap here in the beginning phases. Just as they start to cook, make sure to overlap them a little bit. Now, the 3 flavors we're going to be doing is one is going to be our zesty Italian seasoning and sea salt, so keeping it pretty simple. We're going to do one with some Parmesan cheese, and last but not least, we're going to have one with truffle oil. Now, you're going to cook them all initially, just completely plain, and then we're going to add in the Parmesan halfway through the cooking on some of the leaves, and then the other 2 we are going to finish off after they've fully cooked. So that's it. We're going to go ahead and put these into the oven, bake them for about 10 minutes, check on them, flip them over, add our Parmesan, and bake them for another 10 minutes. And our kale is out of the oven, and now what I did is I cooked it for 10 minutes and I flipped it over, I added a little bit of that Parmesan and put it back into the oven for 10 minutes, just on a portion of it. So I wanted to keep one on a tray just to show you how much this cooks down. We had just a plate full of kale, so it really does cook down. So I'm gonna go ahead and transfer these pieces over to my serving dish here, and I'm gonna do all 3 style of our kale chips all in one plate so that you can enjoy all of them together, because the flavors really do complement each other even though they're all different and unique. So you can see we have a nice little pile of kale chips here. We've got our Parmesan ones here in the corner, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more Parmesan cheese onto this side. I'm gonna do sea salt on our center ones here, and you can actually just add a little sea salt to all of them, but keep it mostly in that centerpiece. And last but not least, I'm gonna use my truffle oil here, and I'm just gonna do a small drizzle of it. Just put that on there. You don't wanna overdo it because it's pretty powerful, but maybe about 15-20 drops or so. And that's it. Your kale chips are ready to enjoy. This is a super easy snack if you want something midday. Just put a little oil on them, that seasoning, pop them in the oven, and you can have a delicious snack, super healthy, and even use these as an appetizer at your next get-together. So I hope you enjoy this recipe. You can get this recipe on my website, thetrailtohealth.com, and you can find other healthy and delicious recipes in my cookbook, Wandering Palette, which is also available on my website and Amazon as well. Thank you.